Coming up on the Horse Tamer with Pat Parelli.
Let's go faster and faster and faster. Okay, so now I'm gonna walk over here. Watch how I do this little dance. Put a little spaghetti out here. They're afraid they get adrenaline and cortisol levels. That's when horses are dangerous. I'm Pat Parelli, and I have loved horses for as long as I can remember.
We don't want our horses to be afraid.
Since 1982, I've been sharing my knowledge to make the world a better place for horses and the humans that love them. My name is Pat Parelli. Remember, keep it natural. But you can call me the Horse Tamer.
Pat is on his way to meet Solo 2, a 6-year-old thoroughbred mare that came to her owner, Leslie, nearly 3 years ago. While she was in training, Solo 2 developed some nervous habits, like pacing, pawing at the ground, kicking her trailer, and bucking. Despite all this, Leslie has always been able to ride Solo 2 until 6 months ago, when she bucked so badly that Leslie fell off and was knocked unconscious. Since that incident, Leslie has only worked with Solo 2 on the ground. Today, Leslie hopes that Pat will get to the bottom of Solo 2's worrisome behavior and help Leslie overcome her fear so she can ride again.
Hi, Pat. I'm Leslie.
Hi, Leslie. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having me out here. This is a great place.
Thank you.
Why don't we go meet Solo? Is she in the pasture?
She's out in the paddock out there.
All right, well, let's go see what she has to say.
And trot.
Hey, Leslie.
Yep.
What do you think would happen if you dropped the rope right now?
Drop the...
If you just don't do it, what do you think would...
Oh, she'd probably be gone over there.
Yeah, she wouldn't act like a partner.
Yep.
So what do you feel she's connected to right now?
Everything but me.
Yeah. She's looking over here a lot.
Yep.
Connection is king. And that's what one of the first things we're gonna work on. Can you do me a favor? See if you can get her to jump over these barrels.
And trot.
She looks like she's got a lot of play in her. She is a good girl. Now, let's see if you can get her to go over this tarp here, okay? I'm gonna open it up. There we go. We'll step back over here.
Good girl. You're so smart.
Very nice. Now, head to the trailer. Shows how you would load her.
It's okay. Come on. Come on up. No. So this probably isn't gonna happen without...
Well, it looks like she's gotten pretty good at putting you in there. I think that's good enough. Come on out here. All right. So I'm watching her expression, observing, and, you know, she looks like she's, like, really full of, can you smell that? Smells like horse feed.
Oh, really?
You've been feeding her very well.
I have.
And so, you know, when horses are very well bred, very well fed, or even overfed, and under exercise mentally, emotionally, and physically, this is where we get what we call behavioral cancers. Okay, so the behavioral cancers come out in all kinds of different ways. Some horses kick, some horses buck, some horses kick the trailer, some horses pull back. But what we really want is like, I love this. You said earlier, she's really curious. I like her curiosity to kick out, because what we've got here is a certain chemistry. They're afraid they get adrenaline and cortisol levels. That's when horses are dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Adrenaline's not so bad as long as it's laced with endorphins like dopamine and serotonin, okay? Those are the feel-good, the I-want-to-learn drugs. Right? Everything starts in the heart, goes through the mind, through the body, down the legs to the feet. Horses will run faster and jump higher out of heart and desire. All right? So I'm going to look for functional things and dysfunctional things. All right? So if you would go, like, right over there by those barrels, then I'm going to play with her. All right? So, Leslie, what I'd like to share with you is something I call long body logic. Humans have got tall bodies because we're pedestrians. horses have got long bodies, okay? So what we really want to be able to do is think about a horse in 5 zones. The head is zone 1, the neck is zone 2, we sit in zone 3, the hips are zone 4, and her tail is zone 5. Now, she's looking at me, so she's perpendicular. So if I want her to go in a circle, I got to get her to quit looking at me. So see how I told zone 1 to go away, all right? Now I'm going to ask zone 5 to push zones 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to push it there. Good. Now I'm going to put what we call the jump rope in front of her. Watch, let's just see here. Now I'm going to just twirl this here, twirl it, and see what she does. See if she pushes through the pressure or does she yield to the pressure, all right? So pressure's not a bad thing, all right? Matter of fact, diamonds are made from pressure. There we go, good girl. So let's ask her to go over this other direction. We're telling the front to go away. Go away, quit looking at me. Thank you, go parallel, all right? I'm lengthening my body like this and saying, hey, let's go faster. Let's go faster and faster and faster. Now let's just see if we can put a little feel on this rope and just slow it down, slow it down. Instead of talking to her with English, how about if we talk through body language? And one of the secrets, I think, with horses is to learn to be the ambassador of yes instead of the minister of no. Instead of saying stop, whoa, quit, we just say, yeah, go play, go have fun, all right? So let's just see how she understands or interprets body language, all right? So this is what we're trying to do here. So I'm gonna stick this out in front of her and see what she thinks, all right? What I wanna do is I wanna make sure she's not afraid of this. All right, she got a little concern there, did you see that? What's that? So I wanna make sure always, I don't ever want a horse to be afraid. It's not a whip. No more than I should be afraid of her long body, she should be afraid of my long body, but she should pay attention to it. Got a little jump rope up front, little spaghetti twirl in the back. So this is called polite and passive persistence in the proper position. I want her to read my body language. I'm just gonna play a little game. I call this the yo-yo game because I want her to go backwards and forward like a yo-yo, okay? So there's lots of little things. So many people think that natural horsemanship is we don't ride with bits and we don't put shoes on our horse. We just ride around and say, woo, let's be free. But that's not what it is. Natural horsemanship is natural for horses. My mission has always been to help make the world a better place for horses and humans that love them. And you can't help horses if you don't help humans understand how they feel, think, act, and play. Learning to use communication, understanding, and psychology versus mechanics, fear, and intimidation. I was so excited to learn this concept, this philosophy from Tom Dorrance, Ray Hunt, Ronnie Willis. And it was this feeling that, yeah, this is the right way for horses to do things with them and for them, to build a foundation before any specialization. And natural horsemanship was born using love, language, and leadership in equal doses. And now, decades later, it has made the world a better place for the horses that we love. So I'm gonna ask her here to move around, do some things I want with rhythm, relaxation, and understanding. Now watch how I do this. Do you notice that I'm not even, watch this, I'm not even gonna look, okay? I'm gonna stand here and just see what she does. So you see how I didn't go jump over the jump?
That was good.
I'm allowing her to play. I want her to be confident and curious and sensitive and responsive. Now, you see her licking her lips?
Yep.
She's digesting her thoughts. That's the cortisol going away, the dopamine and the serotonin kicking in. That's what we're after.
Right.
So what I want to do here is see if we can control her emotions. Woohoo, see? See, that's still emotion.
That was a little leap. That's kind of the part of what the leaping is like.
Yeah, I can see that. That's her play and her fear reaction. We want her to have that and to use it when she wants to play, not when we want to ride her.
Right.
I've always loved to swim. But every swimming pool I've ever been to says no horseplay allowed around here. And I think most people don't want their horses to play because it makes them feel unsafe. And so they think it's naughty behavior. What I've learned over the years is to be the ambassador of yes by playing with that horse's nature on the ground, for staying safe and allowing the horse to do whatever it is thinks he's got to do. And taking that horseplay and turning it into horsepower, whether on the ground or in the saddle, So the real secret is for all of us humans to learn how to play with the horse's nature, become the ambassador of yes instead of the minister of no. If we only cause horses to run, then they just get it to where they become run crazy. So we've got to work on backing. We've got to work on going sideways so that everything doesn't just mean giddy up. All right, now I'm going to see what she thinks about the ball. So see, I'm allowing her to have that time, okay? So there's a wild horse inside this beautiful thoroughbred mare, and there's a tame horse inside of every wild raised horse. So what we want to do is we want to play with the horse's nature. Now, do you see how she kind of looked to the left at the last moment? What we want her to do is to do our exercises until she's connected, not till she's tired. Let's just see if she'll put her nose on these barrels. Put a little jump rope in here, jump rope. Encourage her to go over and put her nose on it. So this is where these exercises are so important.
Okay. So do you want her looking at you?
I want her to go over and stay connected to me.
Okay.
I don't want her going, hey, horses, I'll be there as soon as I get loose. That's what she's telling me. I'll be there in a little while. Rather than, wow, this guy with the funny short chaps is the coolest thing I've ever played with. That's what I want. So now I'm going to ask her here to just look at that tarp. Just look at it. 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 You see? We want her to be calm, smart, brave, and athletic, okay? So now I'm gonna walk over here, watch how I do this little dance, put a little spaghetti out here and see if she'll half circle in front of me again. I'm gonna walk out past her hindquarters, and I'm just gonna keep doing these little half moon circles, okay? I think it's very easy to get direct line with a horse. And so to connect the dots between getting the yielding with connection and then applying it to something like trailer loading. Now remember, the trailer is just a metal cave on wheels for horses. So that's the test, but we have to have some yielding or the horse has got all of the cards in his favor. But we have to get that yielding with connection. So that's why I like to say rhythm, relaxation, and understanding, then application. And all I'm doing is just walking around. All I'm doing is just saying, hey, what's over here? I'm gonna allow curiosity. Now watch what I do here. A little bit of spaghetti here till I get a little try. And just here and here and here and here. See, there's a threshold. She's put her nose over this threshold here, but not her, and her neck, but not her feet. There's her nose.
So, and then you take the pressure off.
Yeah, and then say, let's back up again. She wants to go away from the trailer, so why not do it going backwards? Let's ask her now to go one step more. Nose, neck, and now her foot stepped on it. Now 2 feet, and I'm not even asking. We've got to build trust by just asking her and rewarding her slightest try. And all I've got to do is raise the stick up in the air, let it go slide, okay? See, with this kind of rope, I can play that kind of game. If I had a lunge line or something else on there.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you doing with patience?
I'm about 170. Why? Because I know it's going to work. Because I know it's not about the trailer.
No, it isn't.
It's about her trust in me and her confidence in herself. Ask her to back again. Ask her to go again. A little farther. Ask her to back again. Ask her to go again. Ask her to back again. Ask her to go again. Her feet have been moving a lot. Even the fact that they're moving now is good. That's good. She's thinking, I wonder what would happen if I put my feet all the way in there. She's starting to tell the flies, get off her legs. That's telling me that her cortisol level is going down. Just to gain some trust, see if it helps with me here. Without pulling, holding. Now she's got to back out. And allow her to drift again. Until she can do the yo-yo game really well. In and out and in. There are no rules. What we have to do is expect a lot, accept a little, and reward often. So horses have 4 different personalities. There's extroverts and introverts. Do you think she's extroverted or introverted?
She's extroverted.
She's extroverted. Right brain horses go kind of prey animal-ish. Left brain horses, think about it. She right-brained or left-brained?
Probably right-brained at this point.
Yeah, exactly. At this point, she's acting like a right-brain extrovert. What we want her to do is act somewhere in the middle, act more left-brained, think about things.
Right.
See, that's more thinking there. That's more thinking. That's more doing. That's right-brain extrovert. That is left-brain. Good thing I like is that she has enough confidence in me to follow me in there.
Yeah, she wants you in there with her.
But I wanted her to go in by herself.
Yes.
I want her to have that much confidence in me and herself and the trailer. See what I mean?
Yep.
Because I got the right kind of rope, I can play that game with her. Ah, see, I just stuck it up in the air and she said, oh, I'm not going over there. So that tells me now she's starting to respect the boundaries, okay? Solo got into the trailer when I was in there with her, but now she has to learn to get in herself. So she's saying, I'm gonna go act like a prey animal again. So this is just opposition reflex, which is a behavioral cancer. Well, it's starting to rain. Oh, watch this, watch this. See how little that took? That's when you know the healing's happening. We're almost there, folks. Darkest hours before the dawn. Boundary there. Not only did Solo and I get wet, but so did the microphones. Isn't over. One day wonder. Didn't get like this overnight. This big step, right? Weather working for us. Come on over. Now it's your turn, Leslie. Now, I'm going to show Leslie how to play with her own horse and make it Solo's idea to get into the trailer. This is a practice makes perfect type situation. So it's not just once and then, okay, that was good, put it away. You see? We do it, pause. And notice something. Goes wild. Okay, there's one last thing you gotta do.
Get the horse about you.
I think she's glad to. Well, let's head back to the barn. So Leslie, were you surprised she resisted as much of it, the trailer?
I guess what I was surprised about is that you did get her to go on all by herself and how well that worked.
Mm-hmm.
Because of her resistance. And now I kind of realize how little respect she has.
So I was actually really impressed. It wasn't until it got into a stressful situation. Then that's when the real wild horse that was inside of her that came out.
I was hoping she'd show enough today, and she certainly did.
They just get so much cortisol and adrenaline. They're just in another world.
Now, is there a good way to tell when the cortisol is leaving?
Good question. First of all, lowering of the head, licking of the lips,
Yep.
blinking of the eyes, and this kind of contact. You notice when we're talking, we look each other in the eyes. She would go like this around the circle.
Right.
you know? So when they go around the circle like this, and they're like, is this enough? Is this what you want? You want me to jump the jump? You want me to go in the trailer? What do you want? Now you're having a conversation.
So you think there's hope for her?
Oh, absolutely.
What would be a good plan for this horse?
My suggestion is twofold. Number one, we have a free app that you can download and you can learn the very basics of what I taught you. Then I think to get to the riding part of that, it's going to take someone at my facility or myself to do the riding part.
I would agree with that at this point.
We just need to take it to the next level.
I did notice she got sweaty all over.
It's because of the cortisol levels, the adrenaline levels. Physical sweat is one thing, but when horses are emotional, which is what we saw a lot of today, you know, the darkest hour was before the dawn, and it got pretty sweaty there just before she made some really big changes. So what we want her to do is collect her thoughts, collect her emotions. As soon as she got focused on, okay, I'm going in there. It's like it almost started drying immediately, and that's when you know
that it's working.
Yeah, because then she's connected to you. One of the things that I try to help people with is to become lateral thinkers, not linear thinkers. They want to be able to, just like we do a car, just get in it, turn the key on, and drive it and go where we want to go as fast as we want to go, and stops, you know, it doesn't have emotions. So the more linear we are with horses, the more that they learn to skirt around and get all kinds of resistance. And so the only difference between a horse and a squirrel is 1,200 pounds. They both know they taste good. That's why punishment doesn't work for prey animals, okay? What works is drawing boundaries.